we are here at the Kaziranga National Park. We just reached here from Guwahati. It took around 4 hours to reach here, and we are going to go for a safari on one of these jeeps, for which we need to buy a ticket at this ticket counter. Once you get the tickets, the driver will go, he will take a copy of your Aadhaar card, and then he will get his own vehicle pass from another counter. Until then you will have to wait. Actually, there are many regions here which you can go on a safari, and the person in the ticket counter, he suggested us to take the central region, which costed us about 2,500 rupees, but it varies between 2,500 to 2,800 depending on which region you are choosing to go and how many hours you want to go and things like that. So as of now, we are waiting for the driver to come back from the ticket counter after getting the vehicle pass, and until we wait, we just want to go around this place. There is a small souvenir shop here. And about the elephant safari, if you want to go on an elephant safari here, you will have to take the tickets the previous day, because the safari happens in the mornings, I guess early in the morning. So today we came here and tried to get a ticket. They said the tickets are sold out. We can't do this anymore today. So if you want to take the elephant safari tomorrow, you need to buy the ticket today. I think it's better to book it online. Our Bhaiya has almost come. He has bought his tickets. We are going to board the jeep, and let's see what's in store for us. The safari begins now. This park is spread around approximately 430 square kilometers, and they say it's one of the very interesting wildlife destinations in India. This national park has green meadows, swampy lagoons, dense forests, and it also has 2,200 one-horned rhinos. And 2,200 rhinos means it has around 2/3 of the total population of rhinos in the whole world. We are so lucky that we spotted some baby rhinos grazing around with their mothers. They look really, really cute, and some of the rhinos are sleeping, some are very busy grazing, and the baby rhinos are just going behind their moms. Such a lovely sight. And the forest looks so lush, green and wild. It's so beautiful. As we enter the park, we are seeing some elephants, and our driver Bhaiya is saying that these elephants are tamed ones, and these are the elephants that take people around for elephant safari. And when we go inside the forest, we will be seeing some more elephants, and those are not tamed ones. Those are the wild elephants that live inside the forest. But these ones are tamed, and they have all the training to take people around. There are turtles, there are deers, we saw wild boars and one-horned rhinos, of course, many of them are there. And there are also elephants, and there are also many water birds. Some are very colorful, and they are visible from a very far distance as well. This is so exciting. We are here during the pandemic time by the end of 2020, and it feels really good to get some fresh air and to be very close to nature. Staying indoors all this year was very suffocating. This is like, really liberating, feeling so great. We are at the national park for more than 5 hours now, but we have to leave now because the sun is setting and they don't allow people to stay inside once it gets dark. So we have to rush back to the main entrance, get our vehicle and keep moving. Now we are on the way to Majuli Island. Majuli is a small island in river Brahmaputra. We are going there to see the traditional mask makers of Assam. This is the place, it's called Samaguri Satra. This is where a family has been making masks for many generations. We are going to enter inside and ask them about the mask making process and what are the stories behind the masks and every detail about it. We are here at Chamaguri Satra, which is a mask making center from Sangeet Kala Kendra. It's about 25 kilometers drive from the ferry point. After you offload from the ferry, you can actually take your car inside the ferry, and after you get down from the ferry, you have to drive for 25 minutes. And this is a very nice place, and they have a very unique style of mask making, and they have a certain style of process as well, and all the materials that they use while making the mask is all locally available, and that's what makes it more awesome. We can see someone working with bamboo. I think this is the framework for the mask, which will be the base for the mask. And on the other side, there is someone sitting and working with the material, which looks like a mix of cow dung and clay. He is giving more finer details on top of the framework. What he is working on looks like a bird with a long beak. And then there is someone coloring the final finished mask. Inside the hall, there are many masks in several shapes and sizes and colors. This looks like the turtle avatar of Vishnu. And I'm not sure, one looks like a turtle god, one of the avatars of Vishnu.
ये हमारे पिताजी और ये अंकल दोनों बहुत बड़ा आर्टिस्ट है मजली में।
ओके ओके।
बड़ा मुकुटा कैसा बनाया आप लोग बनाया बताया पहले बैम्बू।
ओके।
पहले बैम्बू नक्शा बनाए।
हाँ।
ये बनाने के बाद फिर और में कुमार मिट्टी क्ले
ओके।
का साथ कप लगा।
ये इधर का रिवर का
हाँ जो सालमोड़ा जो पोर्ट्री रिजर्व।
ओके ओके करना है कुछ वीडियो का।
और ये सेकंड थर्ड का जो ये सूखने के बाद ये सहरा बना गोबर से गाय का जो गोबर है ना काउडंग से सहरा बने।
ओहो हो ओके ओके।
सहरा होने के बाद फिर कुमार मिट्टी से कपड़ा लगाए।
ओके।
गोबर के ऊपर
कपड़े।
हाँ कपड़े से कॉटन कपड़ा लगाया।
ओके ओके।
ये सूखने के बाद कलर।
हाँ ओके। कलर कौन सा कलर?
कलर बाजार में जो मिला है।
ओके।
ऑयल पेंट।
नहीं వీళ్ళతో మాట్లాడేదాన్ని। ओके ओके। और फिर ये बाल वगैरह क्या?
बाल ये जूट का मैंने नेचुरल है।
जूट का। ओके ओके ओके। Now this is the process. First the framework is done with bamboo, the framework of the face. After which they use the clay from the river Brahmaputra, which is locally running here, and they give a form. And to make more detailing onto this form, they use cow dung, and on top of it they place a fabric and kind of mold everything together. On top of the fabric they do the coloring. So this is a fully finished mask, and I'm showing you the inside part of it. You can see the bamboo framework and all the layers. ये छोटा होगा ना?
छोटा होगा।
छोटा पेट है। We are now going towards Suwalkuchi, which is the weaving village of Assam, and it's also known as the Manchester of the East. On our journey, we are seeing a lot of beautiful mustard fields with eye-catching yellow flowers. And as a fashion designer, I'm very excited about going to this place because I want to know more about the Assamese techniques of weaving and the different types of silks that they use, and so many other things. I'm so excited. This morning from Guwahati, we have come to this tiny little weaving village known for its silk saris. It's called Suwalkuchi. There are a lot of weaving looms around, and we are going to enter this silk sari shop called Chayanika Silk Center because the display was very attractive and the place looks very nice. So we thought we'll check out this place. The shopkeeper explained to us about different types of silks that they use in this region, like Muga silk, Eri silk, Pat silk. But what makes Assamese sari very different is that usually in a silk sari, at the border and at the pallu, we use golden color silk zari for embellishment, for giving that shiny effect. But here, instead of the golden thread, they use woolen thread of contrasting color. And that's what makes this Assamese saris very different from the silk saris of rest of India. The traditional sari of Assam is called Mekla Chador. It's usually white in color with contrasting border. It's draped in a very interesting way, and I tried to learn it as well. It was pretty simple to learn. If you are already an expert in wearing a sari, this is really easy. There are some weavers living around near this shop, and we're going to go meet them. They have their workstations here, they're weaving looms nearby. Very sweet of them. They are willing to explain the weaving methods, the threads that they use, and they are showing us the jacquard, punched jacquard cards, and every single detail. Very friendly and warm people. So I got all these from Chayanika Silk Center, two beautiful silk saris, and I tried out a Mekla Chador, how to wear it and things, and I also bought a very beautiful umbrella. Thank you very much, Bhaiya.
Welcome.
And you have a very pretty shop and beautiful collection. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Happy New Year. So the shopping is over. We are now heading towards the Kamakhya Devi temple, which is situated on the Neelachal hills in the western side of Guwahati. It is one of the Shakti Peeths, very powerful temple, and on the way to this temple you see a lot of shops, and the color red is very prominent in every single element in this area. It's red everywhere. We are here at Kamakhya Devi temple waiting to see the Devi. This place is very clean, and because of the COVID times, they wanted us to show our COVID test results while entering, and then they gave an approval paper with which we entered this full complex. Even here, we are socially distancing, and there are seating everywhere for us to wait because the time we came here is the lunch break. So they're supposed to open by around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. Just 15 more minutes to go. The people are waiting peacefully and the temple complex is also clean. As we enter Kamakhya Devi temple, while walking through the shops, there are a lot of priests who are approaching us, asking us to hire them. We have hired a priest, and he's the one who is going to take us inside and show us around and do the puja to the murti.
विष्णु भगवान वो बॉडी जहाँ जहाँ गिरा है पार्ट वो माँ का एक एक शक्तिपीठ हुआ है। यहाँ सोती का माँ का जोनी पीठ, जोनी मतलब सेक्सुअल पार्ट अंदर में गिरा है। वो नीचे में पानी है, वहाँ पे पानी में हाथ लगाना होगा, पानी के माँ को लगाना। जोनी पीठ ऑफ गॉडेस का।
This temple seems to be very different. I don't know what will be the way of worship and what is the procedure of worship and how we enter, how we exit. Everything looks very different in this temple. So we just finished the darshan at Kamakhya temple and it was a beautiful experience because the actual shrine didn't have a murti, it didn't have a statue, and what it was told to us was that there is a shape like the vagina of the goddess. That is what we were supposed to worship, but it was all covered with flowers and lots of fabric, so we couldn't really see the shape. And there is a water stream, a tiny water stream running across, so we are supposed to touch the water and worship that. And it was a beautiful experience. There are a lot of shops also to scroll around when you walk back from the temple, and everywhere it was red. This temple is especially made to worship womanhood, and in a country like India where menstruation is supposed to be a taboo, here people worship the menstruation of goddess Sati. Actually, in the month of June, I heard between 22nd to 26th of June every year the temple is closed because it is believed that goddess Sati is menstruating during that time, and it is also believed that river Brahmaputra running behind this temple turns red during those days. So I personally felt very overwhelmed listening to this story, and I think every woman in this country should visit this place just for the reason that whatever is considered as a taboo in this country is being worshipped here. Our trip to Assam is a great cultural experience. This place is so rich in culture, heritage, tradition, and people are so warm and friendly. The whole of Northeast was very clean and less pollution and nice people and great history. The whole experience will be always memorable in our hearts. We just loved this trip.